Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello everyone. My name is Nurul Fitriani Ramli M. I am a postgraduate student of English Education Department, Tadulako University, class of 20 and 21. Well, today I would like to do oral elaboration of linguistics who handled by Mr. Dr. Mawardin M. Said Ebhom as our lecturer. The first meeting conducted by Mr. Mawardin who talked about linguistics. The definition of linguistics. Linguistics is the study of language and how it is put together and how it functions. The discipline of linguistics focuses on theory of language structure, variation and use, the description and documentation of contemporary language, and the application of theories of language for an understanding of the mind and brain, human culture, social behavior, and language learning and teaching. There are various branches of linguistics. They are phonetic. Phonetic is study of sound speech. The next one is phonology, is study of sound system. Morphology is study of word formation. Syntax is study of phrases, clause, and sentence. Semantic is study of meaning, and pragmatic is study of how language are used or study of sign or symbol. The difference between macro and micro linguistics are: macro linguistics take a broad view of linguistic phenomena, studying the context in which language is used and the development over time. Microlinguistics focuses on the detail of language itself, including sound, grammatical structure, syntax, and meaning. In addition to this basic subfield of linguistics are historical linguistics, sociolinguistic, psycholinguistic, neurolinguistic, computational linguistic. The second meeting, the class has been divided into 5 groups. To begin the discussion session, every group has 5 topics to discuss. The first group talk about language. The second group explained phonetic. The third group, as my group, talk about phonology. The fourth group talk about morphology, and the last group, as a 5th group, explain about syntax. Language is a structured system of communication used by human based on speech and gesture, sign, or often writing. Language is divided as a creative system, grammar and linguistic competence, and biological specialization for language. Language as creative system enable us to produce and understand new words, phrases, and sentences as the need. Human language must be creative, allowing novelty and innovation in response to new thoughts, experiences, and situations. Aspect. Language is an integrated mental system that defines the boundary which innovation can take place. The scientific study of language called linguistics. Therefore, the rules are known as grammar. All language and all varieties of a particular language have a grammar that is equal, which enable their speaker to express their mind. Well, the next material is about phonetic. Phonetic is the branch of linguistics that study how humans make sound and perceive sound, or in the case of sign language, the equivalent aspect of sign. The field of phonetics is traditionally divided into 3 subdisciplines based on question. The first one is how humans plan and execute movement to produce speech or articulatory phonetic, how different movements affect the property of the resulting sound or acoustic phonetics, or how humans convert sound waves to linguistic information or auditory phonetics. Traditionally, the minimal linguistic unit of phonetics is the phone speech sound in the language, which differs from the phonological unit of phoneme. The phoneme is an abstract categorization of phones. The sound of language is commonly described in articulatory and acoustic terms and fall into two major types. The first one is syllabic sounds or vowel or syllabic liquids and nasals. The next one is non-syllabic sounds or consonant and glides. Sound may be voice or voiceless and oral or nasal. Consonants are produced at various places of articulation: labial, dental, alveolar, alveopalatal, velar, uvular, glottal, and pharyngeal. I was pointed out that phonetic is very important to learn because it helps us in decoding words and pronouncing words correctly. Well, the third material is a phonology. Phonology is study of sound system or patterns of sounds, especially different patterns of sound in different language or with each language. Different pattern of sound in different position in words. Phonology focuses on how sounds are organized and used in language, the pattern of sounds, the sound appear together in a sequence in a particular language. There are two main branches of phonology. They are segmental phonology and suprasegmental phonology. Segmental phonology is analyzes speech into discrete segments, such as phoneme, phone, and allophone. Suprasegmental phonology is analyzes those features which extend over more than one segment, such as intonation, stress, rhyme. Phonological rules are a formal way of expressing a system phonological. And then phonological rules has in common language specificity and productivity, antaur unconscious and intuitive. Phonological rules in English can be classified by the kind of process they involve. Here are the 7 major types of phonological process. They are assimilation, dissimilation, insertion, deletion, metathesis, lengthening, and weakening. Additionally, the aim of phonology is to discover the principles that govern the way sounds are organized in language and to explain the variation that occur. We also can understand how sounds are produced, how they are transmitted, and how they are delivered. Well, the next one is morphology. Morphology is the study of word structure, especially regarding morphemes, which are the smallest unit of language. Then, morpheme is the smallest unit of a word that provides a specific meaning to a string of letters. There are two main types of morpheme. The first one is free morpheme, and then the second one is bound morphemes. Free morphemes can stand alone with a specific meaning. For example, eat, date, week. Bound morphemes cannot stand alone with meaning. It always added to one or more morphemes to form a word. For example, as in place, in replay, cheaply, ly, air in cheaper, er. Bound morphemes come into varieties. They are derivational and inflectional. The core between the two being that addition of the derivational morphemes create new words or mostly change the word classes or identity or category, while the addition of inflectional morphemes mostly change word form. The basic concept derivational morpheme is to derive a new word. In the following example, derivational morphemes are added to produce new words, which are derived from the root of words. For example, happy become happiness. This is adjective. Examine become examination. This is a verb. And then verb and noun. Examine, verb, and examination become noun. A danger become dangerous. A dangerous noun and dangerous become adjective. Derivation does not always because the change of word class, but in such a case, the meaning of word will usually be significantly different from the word of word. For example, visible become invisible. Create become recreate. Market become supermarket. And terminate become determinate. Noun terminate become determinate adjective. Well, the next one is inflectional morpheme. Inflectional morpheme predictably influence the base word to signal a change in quantity, person, gender, tense, or the like while leaving the base word class unchanged. Inflection, or the process by which inflectional morpheme are attached to word, allow the speaker to morphological encode grammatical information. For example, the word girls consists of two morphemes. The free morpheme is girl, that describes a young female human being, and the bound morpheme s, that denotes plural number. That both girl as singular and girls as a plural are in the same word of class. There is noun. The last material is syntax. Syntax is the part of linguistics that study the structure and formation of sentences. The word syntax has its roots in the Greek word syntaxis, which means arrangement. It explains how words and phrases are arranged to form correct sentence. A sentence could make no sense and still be correct from the syntax point of view as long as words are in the appropriate spot and agree with each other. A fundamental fact about words in all human languages are that they can be grouped together into a relatively small number of classes called syntactic category. They are word-level categories. The lexical categories like noun, verb, adjective, preposition, adverb. And the next one is non-lexical categories. They are determiner, degree word, qualifier, auxiliary, conjunction. The next one is phrasal structure. In phrasal structure, we have heads, specifier, complements. How does the grammar ensure that specifiers, heads, and complement occupy the appropriate position in phrase structure? The arrangement of the elements that make up a phrase is expressed by a special type of grammatical mechanism called a phrase structure rule. The next one is sentences. The largest unit of syntactic analysis is the sentences, or S. Traditionally, sentences are taken to be in product of the rule, which is combines and noun, often called the subject, with a yield structure. That this analysis assumes that S is special, is not having an internal structure like other phrases, with a head and complement and specifier. The next one is test for phrase structure. There are several tests that can be done. They are substitution tests, movement tests, and coordination tests. The next one is transformation. Invention in yes-no question, deep structure, and surface structure with movement. Syntactic analysis. Syntactic analysis is passive structure, and they are relation analysis and then functional analysis. That's all from me. Thank you very much for the attention and the time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.